Ever get thirsty? Ever get thirsty? What do we do when we get thirsty? Get something to drink, right? Now, water is the best thing to solve thirst. All right? Some of us go for other things, Coke, lemonade, iced tea. Water is the best thing to quench your thirst. I keep getting thirsty. It doesn't quench it forever. I start over the next day after I start drinking the water. Even after I've got my 8 or 9 glasses for the day, there are still times in the evening I'll get thirsty. There are times in between those cups and my mouth gets a little dry. The same is true spiritually. We get thirsty spiritually. What does that mean? We look for God. We desire God. Maybe we're having trouble finding God. Maybe we're having trouble connecting with God, being in contact with God. We're spiritually thirsty. Jesus offers us the living water from a well that never runs dry. It's interesting that Jesus finds himself in Samaria. One of the interesting things I noticed about this passage was that just before this, it seems that the Pharisees are trying to create some strife between John and Jesus. That was eye-opening, something I hadn't remembered seeing before. And so Jesus leaves that place and starts towards Galilee via Samaria. It's a dry, arid region, as much of that land is, and as they journey throughout the day, when they come to a town, they seek out the well, a place where they can find some refreshing water to drink from. They're also a bit hungry, so the disciples go into town, leaving Jesus alone at the well. Probably not unusual. Jesus would take some of that time to pray, to meditate, to be refreshed in other ways. To be refreshed in other ways. In that time alone. So he's hanging out at this well. It's like me going to Taco Bell and hanging out for a couple hours at noontime. Talking to people that come in that I know. Maybe having an opportunity to greet someone I don't. Perfect place to meet people. Except the fact that it's midday. It's the middle of the day and this particular well doesn't seem to have a bucket or something to be lowered in it. That was a bring your own bucket kind of place. Bring your own utensils to retrieve the water from. So Jesus is hanging out, longing for a drink of water maybe, wondering what's going to happen next, what God has in store for the rest of the day, maybe spending some time in prayer. And along comes a woman with her bucket, her clay jar, the 2 or 3 of them. If you look at pictures, people have different concepts of what she had with her and how many. She's a Samaritan woman. He's in Samaria after all. He being a Jew and she being a Samaritan woman, this would not take place if it wasn't for Jesus. Men and women who didn't know each other, who were unrelated, who weren't married, didn't spend time talking, even in public, especially in public. And Jesus being a Jew and she being from Samaria, Jews and Samaritans despised and hated each other. Kind of like West Virginia fans and Pitt fans. Despised and hated each other because of something that happened some game ago, eons ago. What had happened between the Jews and the Samaritans was during the Assyrian captivity, when the Israelites had been taken into captivity, they intermarried with the Assyrians. No longer were they purely Jews. And when they had come back, they established their own place of worship on their own mountain and not the temple in Jerusalem. So they were despised and hated. They didn't see eye to eye, they didn't get along. She's also an outcast because she is coming to the well to get water in the middle of the day when normally no one else will be there. Usually they would come at the end of the day and collect their water, or they would come in the morning and collect their water, and all the women from all the homes, from all the community would come together. That was part of their socializing and learning and interacting and sharing with one another. But this woman comes alone. Well, what is it she has done that makes her an outcast? Jesus brings that up later in the scripture. When Jesus talks about her, asks her to go get her husband, and she says she has none, and then he points out to her, knowing her, she's had 5, she's not married now, but she's living with someone. He's stating facts, and she knows that, and sees him as a prophet. There's something about her that not only has kept her sinful and made her an outcast, but has separated her from even other women. No one wants to be around her. But Jesus is here talking to her at this well. She didn't come looking for Jesus. He may have been there waiting for her in particular. Or he may have just been waiting for the next person that came along to strike up a conversation. But he uses this opportunity that he has to share with her, to grow her, to mature her in faith and belief, to correct some of her understanding, to reveal himself to her. And he does all these things through their conversation. He asks her when she gets there, give me a drink. She knows the history. She knows this isn't right. She's surprised that he's asking her for a drink of water. They wouldn't have shared the same bucket or the same cup or the same dipping spoon or whatever it was. They wouldn't have shared any of those things. So Jesus is introducing himself and inviting her into a conversation so that she can learn and grow. Give me a drink. There are people around us who are thirsty. Are we offering drinks of water to them? Literally in the summertime, figuratively, spiritually, by sharing Christ? Do we see the people that have needs and do something to meet those needs? Jesus saw that there was something missing in her life, and he knew he had what she needed and was willing to offer that to her. We had this conversation. She knows the religious history. She knows the differences between Jews and Samaritans, that they worship differently, that they have different ideas and beliefs and understandings about who to worship and where to worship and when to worship and why. And she even has some knowledge that the anointed one of God, the Messiah, is coming. That's kind of unusual for women, I think, in that day and age. Again, that would have been something they would have been talking about maybe around the well as they each got their water together. She knows these things. So Jesus is not only planting seeds of faith and hope in her, he's helping that to grow and to mature. We had this conversation. It's amazing what can happen in conversations. You get to know people you didn't know. You get to know things about them that you didn't know. You might even learn some things that you didn't know about yourself, about some topic or subject. All that is taking place in the midst of this conversation. The second thing that stood out in the scripture that I prepared this week, I don't know how many times I've preached on this passage, a few. But one of the things that stood out that I didn't remember seeing before was Jesus describing himself as a gift of God. If you knew the gift of God and who it is that's speaking to you. I don't think there's any other place that Jesus describes himself as a gift of God. Others do. John has in John 3:16 in the previous passage from last week, where Jesus is meeting with Nicodemus. John describes him as a gift from God. But here he's saying that to the Samaritan woman. On a A lot of people have debated on what is meant by the gift of God. Part of it would be associated with God sending his Son, the only way we can be saved. And part of it would be connected to this living water that Jesus is about to talk about. The gift of God. Do we ever stop and consider Jesus to be a gift from God to us? We see Jesus as a concept, as a prophet, a teacher, the idea of the Messiah. But a gift is something to be received. And that's part of what he wants her to be able to do, and part of what he wants us to be able to do, is to receive this gift that's given. We don't always receive gifts well, do we? Kind of awkward sometimes about it. When someone offers to help us out, or little things like that, we're kind of awkward about it. But Jesus has been offered to us. And if we know we need Jesus, and if we know we're thirsting for Jesus, shouldn't we receive it in the same way that we take a drink of water when we're thirsty? If you knew the gift of God and the one who is standing before you. And then he goes on to talk about the living water. Now we're standing here next to this well, and there's two aspects to living water. Living water was often seen as the moving water. Okay, rivers and streams, moving water. A well is not necessarily moving water unless it's used on a regular basis and it keeps coming back out up from the ground. So the other aspect is living water, because this water provided life. This well Jacob dug on this piece of land was important because it fed the livestock and it watered the ground and it nurtured, it watered the crops and brought forth life so that the people could live in this area. And Jesus is here at this well talking about living water that comes from God. And it's important to notice they didn't talk about himself as a living water. They talked about this idea of living water welling up inside of us so that no one can thirst. Now, if you've ever seen a camel's back, supposedly they have this big reservoir, okay, in their back. That's the idea for the camelback water system. The backpack that you carry, and it's got a straw that comes here. It's a source of water all day long as you're walking, as you're active, as you're hiking, as you're marching, whatever it is. But eventually that bag's going to run out of water, and you have to refill it. But it introduces us to the concept of this living water welling up inside of us, a constant source that will never run dry, that will fill us with life and help us to reduce life as we allow it to flow out of us into the lives of others. Living water. Are we sharing living water when we interact with folks? When we share Jesus? Are we sharing words of life and words of hope and words of peace with others in all of our interactions? It's interesting that Jesus didn't condemn this woman for her lifestyle, for her choices, for her situation, for her sinfulness. He shared with her the idea of living water, that she could have life, that she who knew she was an outcast amongst the women in her community, she could have life. Life with God, life abundant, a life of peace and hope. This living water is on. What is it? It's the Holy Spirit. The one who will come after Jesus. The Holy Spirit. That keeps us connected. That fills us. That guides us and directs us. It keeps us wanting to hang on to God. And keeps God hanging on to us. All we have to do is tap into it because it's in our heart. It's already in us. It's with us. Keeping us connected to Him. We don't have to be thirsty spiritually. We'll get thirsty physically, but we don't have to be spiritually. We continue to allow God into our lives each and every day. Continue to allow Jesus to change and transform us, and the Spirit to keep us connected day in and day out. And He'll remind us when it's been too long. He'll remind us when we need to sit down with the Word. He'll remind us when we need to sit down and listen. Are we open to that? Are we receptive to that? So that we won't be spiritually thirsty. Be like a woman at the well who openly received what Jesus shared with her, and her life was changed by it. And not only hers, but if you read the rest of this chapter, she goes back and tells the folks in her community, I have met him, the Messiah, the one we've been waiting for. And they come to believe through her, and through the fact that she shared what had been shared with her, that Jesus knew her and accepted her. And she believed. Be changed and transformed by the love and grace, the mercy and forgiveness of God. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for your love and grace and mercy, shown to us in many and varied ways each and every day, visibly and invisibly, inwardly and outwardly. We thank you that you love us so much. Help us to receive the gift of Jesus in our lives. Help us to receive daily the Holy Spirit's presence, to be guided and directed throughout our day and activities, throughout the time with you and our interactions with others. Bless each one, Lord, with this living, loving life from within. May we see you as a well that never runs dry. May we be close to you so that we'll never be spiritually thirsty. May it be so for each and every one of us, for each one that we interact with and share with. May we help one another, Lord, to grow and mature as Jesus did the Samaritan woman. Bless us with the Holy Spirit that it might be so today and tomorrow and each and every day. In Jesus' name.